What up, though, everybody, and welcome to Lions Nation Unite. My name is Spencer Raxter. I am one of the Woodward heavyweights, and I appreciate you tapping in and joining us today. Lions Nation Unite is a platform made by Herman to take Lions content creators from all different walks of life and to put them together to bring you the best content imaginable about your Detroit Lions. Smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and follow the network on all different platforms, whether that is Instagram, Facebook, or X. Appreciate you stopping by. And again, smash that like button. Now, Dan Campbell went to the podium for the Detroit Lions during OTAs, and he had some good things to say about a lot of different players. And obviously, he made his normal Dan Campbell-esque remarks when players or when media members were asking about what players aren't playing and why. We're going to have more videos coming later in the week about some players sitting out, maybe even holding out. When you look at Alex Anzalone and Frank Ragnow, both of whom are saying they want new deals before they're going to show up. But of course, it's still OTAs, so it's nothing to be concerned of just yet. But Frank Ragnow and Alex Anzalone going forward looking for more money or just a better contract situation out of the Detroit Lions. And I think they get that done. But I'm not here to talk about that. I want to talk about some of the positives that Dan Campbell took the podium to tell people about. Number one is Jameson Williams. And I know that you've heard me say it before because I am expecting a big year out of Jameson Williams. I said that I think he's going to lead the Detroit Lions in receiving yards next season. I think they're going to be using him in a much different way. I hear everybody and their mother saying Jameson Williams, expect big things from him. He's locked in. He showed up. He looks like he's in better shape. He's stronger. He's turning into a veteran. A lot of different things from Jameson Williams. But don't believe them from me. Believe them from the head coach of the Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell. Here's what he had to say about Jamo.
He's had a good spring, and it's another one. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves in OTAs, but, I mean, there's so much versatility with him. There's so many things that we can do just with his routes on the outside. I mean, we can do things inside, but just with his speed, and he's gotten so much stronger. You know, his ability to stop, put his foot in the ground. Man, when you can run like he can run, and now you're beginning to where, man, you can stop on a dime. I mean, you talk about a hard cover. So the sky's the limit for him. He's exactly where we want him to be right now at this point, man. He's been here. He's grinding. He's getting better. Scotty's freaking grinding him. It's awesome. But we expect him to have a huge season. We really do, man. He's going to be one of these guys that we're going to lean on this year, and it is really going to be big for us. And all he's got to do is just keep working like he's working, and we'll be good.
So that was Dan Campbell talking about. Oh, sorry about that. That was Dan Campbell talking about Jameson Williams next year, and you hear everything that you love to hear for a player going into this season. And again, remember, this is a contract year for Jameson Williams, so that's even more incentive. They picked up his fifth-year option, but they haven't given him that extension yet. So I expect that to be another thing of him going forward. But this is what you keep hearing out of the Detroit Lions room, whether it be Scotty Montgomery, Johnny Morton, Dan Campbell, whoever it is, they're saying that Jameson Williams is a lot more locked in this year. He's up there getting the keys. He's in the locker room. He is in these meetings, and he is dialed into what he is doing. He is showing up, and he's looking different out there on the field. And as Dan Campbell said in that clip, he's looking stronger, and that helps him in and out of routes to, like he said, put his foot in the ground and make a move. And I said it on the Woodward Heavyweights 5-7 shout out on Woodward Sports, but I said it that I think Jameson Williams one-on-one is going to be one of the scariest things in the NFL. When you look at Derrick Henry one-on-one in the hole trying to tackle him, or you look at trying to guard one-on-one on the outside against Aiden Hutchinson or Myles Garrett or something like that. I think next year, one-on-one, a corner trying to guard Jameson Williams is going to be at that level of fear because – this guy is probably the most explosive player in the NFL. He's probably the fastest player in the NFL. And now if he is really progressing his route tree and his abilities, could you imagine trying to guard a hitch and go against Jameson Williams? If you bite on that, you're toast. There's no coming back from that. So I expect Jameson Williams' route trade to progress with him. And we saw it last year kind of open up, but I think an off season where he's not dealing with anything off the field, he doesn't have any suspension or injury to worry about. He can just go in there and get to work with the Detroit Lions for an entire offseason. I think we're going to see a different type of beast out of Jameson Williams, the guy that we saw at Alabama that was the best player in the world, that was going to be the reason the Alabama Crimson Tide won that national championship. Unfortunately, he got injured, so they couldn't end up doing that. But I think Jameson Williams next year is really going to step into like first team all pro consideration when you look at what he's going to do. And again, if you don't want to hear it from me that his attitude's different or he's moving different, you don't believe Dan Campbell, who just told you, here is Jameson Williams himself, and you can judge if you think that he sounds different than he has in past years.
I wouldn't say I changed anything, ever since I've been installed into working hard as a kid, with my pops, I always had the same mindset, just go out there and be the best, work the hardest. My dad, he always texts me like, I'll work everybody, no matter who it is, I'll work everybody. So, that's just my mentality. I guess just going into year 4, I got a little pep in my step. I'm becoming a vet, moving over from the rookie stage, and, I'm just ready to play more football and be more consistent for my team.
This guy, I don't know how people can hate this guy. Jameson Williams is just a baller. All he does, eat, sleep, breathe ball. And we knew that. I mean, you should have known that from the beginning because that's the type of guy that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell draft. They're not going to draft you if you're not a freak and love football. And Jameson Williams has always been that guy. And I know that some people in the Lions community it took them a while to accept Jameson Williams, and some still haven't for some reason. But I think you see right there the type of kid this guy is. He is just a nice, genuine human being who loves football. And yeah, he got caught with a gun. I would too if I was rich. I would roll around with a gun on me too if I was rich. Like, it wasn't like an illegal firearm or anything. Oh, he bought some water from Kids in the Hood. Oh, he light off fireworks on the 4th of July. Like, I know this fan base was just so outraged with him, but I think they finally saw the success. They finally saw what he can do. And knowing that he was probably the best player on the field in both of your last 2 playoff games, I think they're starting to accept JMO, and I really believe that this kid is just taking strides. I think this is the year where everything comes together for him. You look at what he's going to be in this offense that Johnny Morton is establishing or he's cultivating. It's going to be a similar offense, but he's going to have his twing to it. And Johnny Morton, likes play action shots. He likes going down the field, attacking in the offense, and he likes to do that in the play action. Jared Goff, one of the best play action, if not the best play action quarterback in the NFL. The Detroit Lions, one of the best, if not the best running games in the NFL. And Jameson Williams, one of the most, if not the most explosive over-the-top threat in the NFL. That is a combination for success when you look at what Johnny Morton brings to the table. And I think Jameson Williams is going to take that step next year where he's not just that explosive threat over the middle. I think we're going to see him develop into being this all-around encompassing wide receiver one. I have so much expectations for Jameson Williams' season next year. I truly believe he is going to take that step going forward. And it's just, there's not much you can do against this Detroit Lions offense because there are so many weapons and so many people that can hurt you and can beat you, and you can't guard them all at once. But Jameson Williams is the most explosive out of all of them. You see when you get the ball in his hands, unless he's rolling to his right and deciding to throw the ball down the field, good things tend to happen. Johnny Morton knows that. Johnny Morton made Robbie Anderson one of the most explosive players in football when he was an offensive coordinator for the Jets. Imagine what he's going to do with Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams is going to be set up to succeed in Johnny Morton's offense. He's going to go out there, and like I said, he likes to attack down the field. He likes explosive plays, and he likes play-action shots. I believe not only will Jameson Williams provide that, but his continued growth as a wide receiver in the NFL will be on full display. Him having an offseason free of any kind of injury or suspension to deal with will come into play, and his consistent chemistry building and now maturing with Jared Goff that we saw, especially at the end of the year last year. They were on the same page. That's nothing to worry about anymore. Jameson Williams is going to really unlock all of his game next year, and I'm excited for it. It's going to help the Lions offense remain one of the most feared units in the NFL. I'm excited to see what Jameson Williams can do under new offensive coordinator Johnny Morton. But just the way I hear all of these guys, Johnny Morton, Dan Campbell, Scotty Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, everybody you hear talk about Jameson Williams this year, it's that he looks great, he's locked in, and he's really maturing. I think this kid takes a huge leap, and like I said, I think we're going to be talking around first team all pro type stuff for Jameson Williams next year. Appreciate you guys tapping in. Make sure you smash that like button. This is Lions Nation Unite. Subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or X. I am Spencer Raxter of the Woodward Heavyweights. Appreciate you tapping in. See you guys next time. More updates to come this week about Alex Anzalone and Frank Ragnow's holdouts and what's going on in those situations. Make sure you stay tuned for those later in the week, but we'll see you guys for now. Appreciate you tapping in. Smash that like button and subscribe. Peace.